I just love watching videos where there's some little old woman looking at all the things on her screen trying to figure out what to do next. And here I am. So, um, I'm this little old lady who's sitting here doing her crocheting, her needlework, with a lot on my mind. So, the thought has come to me lately, maybe I should share some of it. Um, so a little bit about me, which may or may not matter. Um, 67 years old. I live in Georgia. I have been an art teacher, a massage therapist. I've had my own painting business. I raised a son. A lot of details. Not really that important, other than, I have some life experience. And I've journaled since I was about 21 years old. And recently I was flipping through one of my old journals and saw where I had made a note that my son said, "Mom, you should YouTube video some of this stuff." I think I was probably sharing some of my wisdom with him. He was probably in middle school, and I'm sure he's changed his mind now, but maybe he was right. So a lot of people and a lot of stuff on YouTube, but it seems to me like a lot of people need to hear a few more things, or maybe it would benefit them to hear a few more things. I'm learning still. One of the most important things I've learned recently is that I don't know what other people need, even though I still think I do. I don't have anyone else's answers, although I still think I do. So I'm working on it. So, from what I've learned in the last 30 years, love is the answer to most problems. Not needing love is the problem. Needing love is the problem. There isn't enough. A lot of the things that people do and call love is abuse. So, as hard as I tried to be loving to my son as he was growing up, all I can see now are my failings and my inadequacies. And of course, it was never my intention. I wanted to raise him better than I was. But we're also freaking human. So, okay. So the thing that's on my mind right now is that I made a new friend today through an online meeting, and she was sharing with me how she had been a whistleblower at in her capacity as a counselor in youth correctional facilities. And it wasn't too long ago the thought occurred to me that if I had a purpose, because I'm now retired and don't have to have one, it would be to help kids realize that they may be in family or living situations where their needs are not met, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's not their fault. So my purpose, very vaguely, was to help children not have to suffer, not to question their lovability. And after listening to her share her story, I felt like that was really brought to my attention. And the thought just occurred to me, I know there are a lot of QAnon people who believe that children are being kidnapped and trafficked, and I'm sure there's truth to all of it. But if all that energy and concern could be channeled into just stopping abuse in correctional facilities, how cool would that be? Children don't end up in correctional facilities because they have a wonderful home life. And that's a blanket statement, and I'm sure there's probably some small percentage of children that have excellent home lives and still end up in correctional facilities. But I think most of them are probably, from the time they're born, not getting their needs met, um, and being hurt. But it puts them in an even worse situation once they get into a facility, because the abuse is, if this one woman busted one correctional facility in one part of the country, what are the odds that guards are not hurting children, or people within these facilities are not hurting children? What are the odds that it's not pervasive? And what if all the people who are so concerned about children could just go to work on their community correctional facilities, get in there and volunteer and find out if the children are being hurt? So that's what this video is about, just encouraging people to, the ones who have the wherewithal and the time and the need to help, can just go get involved in your own community's correctional facilities for youth. I personally realize that I still don't have the capacity I wish I had to help people. I'd like to volunteer my couch or my family or my home to help people, but I know that I really can't do that. I don't have the capacity to do that. So I'm going to be doing some things in my community that I hope will help, that I have the capacity to do. So pardon my clutter, my mismatched clothes, my recent surgery on my nose, the bruising. I'm not being abused. It's just a little cancer thing that got removed. So I don't know if any youth happen to watch this. Please know there's nothing wrong with you. You haven't done anything wrong. You may be making mistakes, but that's how we learn. We all make mistakes all the time, all the time. And if someone in your life is hurting you, you don't have to tolerate it. You don't have to put up with it. There is a way out. And it's my prayer that you find it. And I believe that if you ask within yourself to your connection, your higher power, your source, your God, whatever you want to call it, don't think that source cares what you call it. But if you'll ask for help, you will find a way out. Just know that you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to be abused or hurt, and you don't have to put up with it. And figure out a way to get out of it. It's out there. There's so many stories nowadays about people writing something on a napkin in a restaurant and giving it to the waitress. And I know that that's a risk. I grew up in a very violent household. And I don't remember ever thinking about asking anybody for help. And that was a long time ago. We didn't have all of the resources that are available to us now. I thought that's just the way life was, but it doesn't have to be. If there are people hurting you, they need help too. But first and foremost, you need to make sure you get safe. So that's it for now. When I'm sitting here sewing, listening to the news, and having all these thoughts, I keep thinking there's a motivation within my heart to help. And maybe I'll get over the stage fright of doing this, and somebody send me a message and tell me this helped, and I'll keep doing it. So we'll start a movement to save the children. We can all be the change we want to see in the world. And I've been working on being more peaceful within myself and finding peace within myself no matter what. The answer is always within me, the answer to my problems. So that's a whole nother video. We'll keep this one short. There is enough love in the world, and it increases the more we share it. So, thanks for listening if you made it this far. You are loved. You are lovable. You're amazing. Hang in there.